Alright, so, okay, so I guess this is my first attempt to a introductory, beatboxing video. Well, I guess so. I guess for this video, I'm gonna go ahead and cover the basics and maybe just talk about it first before we get into the lessons or anything like that. I guess where should I begin? So basically, as a kid, I grew up enjoying hip hop music, and I really enjoyed my best friend and I. We would share music all the time, and we would just we really loved rap music and hip hop beats and stuff like that as kids. And as we got older, we grew up, went to school, and during that time, we got a little bit into hanging out and beatboxing. It was really my friend who got into it first, and then I ended up, my best friend got me into the beatboxing, and he started first, and then I ended up slowly getting comfortable with myself and doing that. So pretty much, during our high school days, we used to hang out all the time, spend a lot of overnight hangout sessions with a bunch of friends, and we used to hang out and rap. We used to practice some freestyle a little bit beatboxing. As we got older, we would throw down some freestyles and beatbox sessions, and complement each other's beatbox style and rap music, not rap music, I guess ciphers and cadence and stuff like that, and freestyling. And that's a really fun creative outlet for me personally, because I think a lot, and I'm a deep thinker, so I think a lot of different words and different things and what they mean and stuff like that, and like how do I say what I'm trying to, how do I say what I feel like saying, right? In a way that's creative, musical even. So I used to freestyle a lot, and that's just where you start rhyming off the top of your head to try to, accompany somebody's beatbox, right? So usually get, if it's two of you, usually get the beatboxer and then the rapper, or the freestyler, I guess. So then one person starts the beatboxing session, and then the other party basically starts freestyling, and then you take turns. So the other person lays down a beat, and then you start trying to freestyle, right? And that gets a little bit of creativity into your mindset, like when you're using your vernacular, which is your ability to speak and communicate, I suppose, in the form of rhymes and a fun music way, so I guess why did I start making this video? These video sessions, I decided, I had a couple of friends. I had a friend who I feel like she's interested in beatboxing, and she's totally into it. I think she just needs a little bit of encouragement through maybe some sort of YouTube videos and little something nice, some nice relaxing motivational talks, or just like me telling my story, I guess. I guess that's how I kind of want to do this introductory video, because slowly kind of trying to ease her into becoming more comfortable, because there's people all over the place, and all sorts of talented people, and really to become talented, you just gotta practice, and it comes with becoming comfortable with practicing. You can't just practice, you gotta be comfortable practicing, and you can't just practice, you gotta practice well. And be comfortable with it, and it took me a long time. It took many years before I was actually comfortable, and sometimes I still am not comfortable doing it. Sometimes I get a little shy, but I've practiced a lot on my own time by myself, and that's some of the best time you can practice, is when nobody's around. It's just you by yourself. A lot of different places I like to practice is I like to practice in shower time. When I'm taking a shower or bath, I like to practice some beatboxing then. Because that really helps me get comfortable, because the sound of the water is running and nobody can hear me very well. And if they do, they don't have to hear my practicing mistakes or me fumbling on my beats, or, you know, small things like that, right? There's all these like little things you have to think about, and that give you make you feel uncomfortable. But really, it takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of back and forth, maybe finding a friend to beatbox with. That's the best way, is finding a friend to beatbox with. So then, you're not embarrassed, they're not embarrassed, and you can practice together. That's a really good option too. But sometimes I go out late at night and I walk around and look at the stars. And sometimes I end up accidentally beatboxing and practicing beatboxing, because I don't really care. It's nighttime, nobody's around, I don't have to worry about nothing. It's really quiet outside. You can look at the stars. It's a really, really nice experience for me personally, right? So, I guess I'm trying to. The introductory is just me trying to get people more comfortable with just being themselves. Just be yourself and practice, right? Those are the things that you kind of need to get started, because if you don't do that, you're never gonna get practice. If you're worried about it, you're not gonna ever have time to practice, right? So it's all about taking little small steps and beatboxing in your own little way. And each person's beatbox is unique and beautiful. So I think everyone should beatbox. I feel like everyone should just be comfortable with themselves enough to just beatbox and have a good time. It's a very good musical outlet that you don't need any talent. You don't need any like computer skills. You don't need any book learning skills. You don't need to read books that much. You just have to say what you're feeling when you're feeling it at that time, and you gotta take into account those feelings, and you gotta try to make words out of that fit a certain rhythm or fit a certain beat. Or that's freestyling. Whoops, wrong tutorial. Well, let's backtrack down to the beatboxing, right? Beatboxing, right? It's about just listening to beats, certain sounds. What I like to do is I like to pick out one sound out of a beat, a heavy hip hop beat, and I like to practice that one beat, that one sound, over and over and over again until I can feel comfortable making that sound, right? So basically, any sound's fine. Any sound is fine to start with. If you want to start with like a tick, there's a lot of tick tick claps. There's some claps involved with some beats. There's some boots. There's some cats. I'm just using words that sound like sounds, but they're not actually. It's not like you're actually saying the sounds or the word. You're saying the sounds. So it's like boots, cats, right? Boots, cats, and boots and cats. But when you get rid of the letters, it goes boots, cats, boots, cats. It's actually really late at night, so I can't actually do some actual beatboxing tonight. But basically, just stay tuned for the beatboxing sessions, and hopefully by the end of this little small YouTube series, you'll be on your way to becoming a beatbox master. And basically, once you master the steps of becoming comfortable with yourself and just practicing out in the open and not caring what anybody thinks, then you become a beatboxing master. Because that's the hardest step, is to beatbox without having to worry about it, right? Without having to worry about what you sound like, or if you fumble up on your beats, or not a lot of people will go out in the open and beatbox. So overcoming that challenge in itself is quite the reward, right? So basically, ticks and claps, boots, cats, there's also a lot of breathing techniques involved, because you can make some beats and noises, but if you forget to breathe, then you're gonna knock yourself out, right? And you don't want to knock yourself out. You want to be holding your breath for too long, or else you're gonna knock yourself out, right? And you don't want to do that. You don't want to get winded in the middle of your beatbox session, because then you can't breathe, right? And if you can't breathe, then you're gonna die. No, that was a joke. You're not gonna die, but you're not gonna pass out either. You're just gonna fumble up on your entire beat, and you're gonna come across some times where you need oxygen in your lungs, and you're gonna need times where you need to breathe out oxygen in your lungs. So a lot of it is your breathing control, right? Practicing breathing. So basically, what you want to do is, for starters, practice breathing, right? You want to be able to, during your beatbox, you want to be able to inhale as fast as you can, because you don't know how much breath you're going to use in the middle of your beats, right? So practicing that's really important too, especially for beatboxing. So you can breathe normally. Right, those are some pretty heavy breaths. That's getting some oxygen in your system. That's going to get you more able to produce those beats by holding your breath. Practice breathing. So really, when you're beatboxing, you wanna breathe. You want to inhale, so that's breathing inwards, as fast as you can. That the level of the amount of oxygen you need during the in between the beats, you need a lot of oxygen in between beats, right? So that way you can breathe and you can continue beatboxing, right? So if you're going one way, out, then you're gonna be eventually run out of breath. What you want to do is you want to go out, in, so that you can intake a lot, so you can just catch your breath again, right? It's a lot about breathing control, and basically, so yeah, an example. Here's what it sounds like when you breathe in as fast as you can. It sounds like, right? You want to do that. You want to go, or like you want to take it like you're sucking out of a straw, even. Like you want to go, right? And when you do that, you want to do that quickly, so that you can be able to do that in between your beats. So there's certain, we'll get into the beats, the measures a little bit in the next video probably, but yeah, basically breathing techniques is very important. You want to keep breathing in, out during your beatboxing, or else you're gonna not have any oxygen to do what you're trying to do, or you're gonna run out of breath, and then you're gonna have to stop your beat halfway, right? And you don't want to stop your beat halfway through a beat bar, right? So I personally, I'm not as great of a freestyler, so for me, I practice a lot on beatboxing so that I can let other people freestyle off my beats. And that was really fun for me. I was a little bit younger then, maybe 24, 23. I used to walk around the valley, and I used to try to hustle like a gangster. But basically, that I don't know. I think everyone goes through a phase where they try to be a gangster. I don't know. I've always wanted to be a gangster when I grew up. So that's what I ended up trying to become. So basically, being the thug gangster I am, yeah, I practice a lot of beatboxing and hip hop and stuff like that. And I'm working towards becoming a rap lyricist and working on my cadence so that I can create some sort of, maybe some solo beatboxes and me rapping to myself or something like that, or some sort of performance art regarding that, because I really do enjoy the rap scene. It's a good time for everybody, but really especially like beatboxing, because I'm a lover of sounds. I love sounds, different sounds, and I enjoy the beatbox, because you can just produce a beat whenever, wherever you like, right? And you can get as intricate as you like and as practice as you want. And so you can even start really, really simple, right? You can just go beat, boot, 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 and just start there, right? And once you get practice timing, so it's all about timing, how when you're making your sounds, in between your sounds, and breathing. There's a lot to go into account with beatboxing, but don't let that overwhelm you. It starts with the very simple basics. Your 1, 2, 3, 4 beats. Every bar or measure has 4 beats in it, and that's the start of your beatboxing, is practicing those beats. They are full. I would recommend starting with full notes, whole notes, I guess is what they're called. No, is it called whole notes? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I failed high school. So either way, I think there's a whole note is a 4/4 measure is 1 beat per 4 beats per measure, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's your 4/4 classic measure beats. So you practice counting, practice timing, listening to music, listening to it well. You'll get more familiar with the timing. So that's something that is pretty critical for beatboxing, is your timing. The timing in between your beats, the timing of the beats, your up beats, your down beats, stuff like that. Little small things that you can add into your own beatbox. So it's all about just starting simple and practicing, and then expanding from there, and then just continually getting better and better. Trying to get more intricate with the beats, trying to get more different sounds, practicing different sounds over and over again, but one sound at a time. And then once you practice one sound, you can practice another sound. And then once you practice another sound, you can basically practice those sounds together. And once you get a hang of that, you can practice another sound, add that into the mix, and eventually you get to the point where you only need a couple of sounds to create a beatboxing beat. You only need boots and cats, really. Ticks and claps help a lot too. So those are my 4 main sounds: boots, cats, ticks, and claps. And those are all just what are those words called? I think it's called onomatopoeias, where the word sounds like the sound it's trying to make. So I'm not really saying boot and cat, it's just the sound it makes in the beatbox sounds like it sounds like those words. Boots, cats, boots, cats, tick, tick, claps. Yes. And those are my main 4 basic sounds. There's other sounds I do use, certain sounds like scratching. I use scratching to inhale, but that's where you inhale sharply and you clench your mouth, you clench your teeth together, so that it makes your saliva, it pulls the air in through your mouth so that you can breathe. But clenching your teeth makes it so that the saliva in between your teeth, the air creates a sound. So that's like a that sounds like a hi-hat. I don't know. It's all about imagining the sounds in your head and trying to figure out how you can make those sounds. Breathing is good. I like to use the called snare. I think it's a snare. I think it's called a snare. I'm not too familiar because I'm not really studied as much as I should be on these things. But yeah, the snare sound, right? That's your inhale. That's my go-to inhale, is a snare, right? Something like that. Do it sharply and quickly. I can catch some breath in between my beats, right? and that's that sound particularly. I really should be a little bit quiet because it's in the middle of the night and everybody sleeps in the middle of the night. So maybe definitely the next video, I'm gonna definitely add some actual sounds for you to hear, for me to be able to beatbox into the microphone, right? But right now, I just want to talk about it, right? Let's just talk about beatboxing. Well, I guess so yeah, my best friend and I, we grew up together, and we've been friends our entire lives. And we've always had a dream of making some hip-hop music, or just making music in general, because my best friend and I, we really love sounds. We just love different sounds. Like, the weirder, the wackier it gets, the better it is for us, for me, and for him. Yeah, so, I also have a couple other true friends, that they're pretty good at beatboxing too, and they probably practice a lot more than me, but that's okay. You shouldn't really let that bother you or anything. Like, if someone's really good at beatboxing, that's because they spent a lot of time practicing. So you really shouldn't compare your own success with the success of somebody else, really. Ooh, this is a funky beat. Yeah, now this is a funky beat. I could dig this one, but I wish I could beatbox this beat, but I can't, without a little bit more practice. For a while now, I've been out of practice, so I need to start picking that practice back up. So I decided maybe I'll just do these little YouTube videos, and maybe I'll pick that back up so that I can teach people how to beatbox. And if people want to beatbox, my lessons will just be available for free. All you gotta do is just watch my little swirly rainbow thing and listen to my words that I'm saying, right? So I really like this swirly thing. Now, this swirly thing is really nice. I like the colors of it, but I'm getting a little bit distracted, a little sidetracked. So just let's summarize here. You want to practice feeling comfortable. You want to beatbox in a place that you're comfortable beatboxing. You want to practice one sound at a time. You also want to pick up breathing habits, proper breathing habits. That's critical in beatboxing. You want to be able to breathe and beat and breathe and beat in a way that's in your beatboxing, or else you can't beatbox forever, right? You only got one breath. But if you practice on breathing in between your breath and your beats, then you can beatbox forever, basically, depending on how much oxygen and air you're trying to control in your lungs, right? So really, to get started, just practice one sound at a time. Whatever sound is easiest for you to do, you practice that 4/4. That's one beat at a time, or in between the beats, depending on the sound you're practicing. Right. So yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. But more videos are to come, and by the end of all my videos, hopefully, you're a little encouraged. Whoever watches this is encouraged to start beatboxing, because I love beatboxing. I love sounds. I love hip hop. I love rap music. I love mainly hip hop music, instrumentals and stuff like that. I'm all about that. But yeah, well, if you are listening, don't be afraid to try, because you don't know if you're gonna get good at it unless you try, right? So just feel comfortable trying. That's the main goal of this video. The next video, I'll start introducing the actual sounds into the microphone, and I'll be trying to get back into beatboxing and practicing regularly, because that's something I used to do all the time, but I haven't done in a long time. So I haven't felt the need to do it until lately, when a friend of mine, I think she was curious about beatboxing, and maybe she might need some help getting more into it, getting comfortable with it. And I'm sure there's many more friends out there that are down to take up some just listen to some beatboxing advice. That's what I'm trying to get at here, is just some beatboxing advice and some my a little bit of my story. Right now I'm about 31 years old. I'm about to turn 32, and basically I've had a lot of practice, compared to somebody who hasn't even tried. Right? If you don't ever try it, you don't know you're gonna like it. You don't know if you're good at it or not, right? So, it's a fun thing to do for me, is encourage people to try to step out of their comfort zones and try to just kind of do what they want to do, right? People, if you ever want to beatbox, that's something that you shouldn't ignore, right? That's something that you could become super good at, and you can get really rich out of it if you really try hard enough, I guess. Yeah, you can acapella some beats and stuff like that. And either way, yeah. Until I guess, I almost I liked it. I freaking ended the video a little bit ago, but then I kept it here. So now I'm actually ending the video, and it's gonna be fun. Next time, actual beats and actual sound effects are gonna be coming out more. I'm gonna probably do it during the daytime when everybody's awake, so that I'm not bothering nobody. But yeah, I'm actually go ahead and conclude the introductory video here. So this is introductory to beatboxing. Yep, introduction to beatboxing.